It's Thursday, so we are back a little bit outside of Spartan Stadium. I'm Geoff Preston.
I'm Bondy.
We're looking this week at the Wyoming Cowboys as they come into Spartan Stadium to take on MSU. Wyoming is 3-1, coming off of a 20-19 win over Florida Atlantic, and Robert D'Antonio talked about it a little bit in his press conference. These two teams actually have a very similar offense, and the coaching staff of Wyoming is very, very familiar with MSU's offense.
They are, Geoff. They run a West Coast style offense. That's what the presser said. And really, they're more of a pro style, though. They're similar to Michigan State. D'Antonio talked a little bit about this week, where they run more of a two-back system. They go more of the power run. That's different from what Michigan State's seen in their first few games. First few games, obviously, against Jacksonville State, Oregon, Eastern, even last week, were more up-tempo, pro-style offense. Not pro-style, but spread-style offenses.
Yeah.
And this is something new. It's something that I know the players talked about. Riley Bullough said he's more excited about playing against that. That's what he's used to playing against that this week. So really, it's something I think Michigan State's going to, get a new look at, and we'll prepare them more for the Big Ten schedule, where you're going to see a few more, pro-style, more hit you in the face kind of run offense. So that's good. Here's what D'Antonio said about this week.
Tend to share. So North Dakota State's been here, and spent time with us. And I can't remember exactly what date it was or anything like that, but people evolve. We've changed and things of that nature. So. In the end, it comes down to players making plays on the field. You can draw them all up any way you want. If you get your guys playing hard, and they tackle and block well and catch the ball well, good things are going to happen.
So as you just heard Coach D'Antonio allude to a little bit, these offenses are very similar, and the coaching staff of Wyoming is actually pretty familiar with MSU's offense. As you heard Coach say, while they were at North Dakota State, they were up in East Lansing to kind of take a bit of a tutorial on how to run the Spartans offense, a little bit more of a powerful offense. So we'll see if that bites coach this week. It could. So Rob, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the starters. Didn't play a lot against Eastern Michigan. Obviously the score reflects that. Coach D'Antonio's talked a lot about how he doesn't want to run up the score on opponents. But you actually had an interesting take. You think that it'd be valuable if maybe they let the starters in a little bit.
I do think that's the case, Geoff. Looking at the schedule coming up, Michigan State plays Nebraska next week. Obviously, one of the toughest games. Nebraska's sitting undefeated currently, and that's a game that you want to be playing your best ball at. Because if you lose that game, you can throw away the college football playoff. That discussion's out the door. So Michigan State is going to need their best players playing their best ball next week. And I think this week it's going to be key to get Connor Cook to stick around more than just the first half. Get him into that third quarter a little bit, even the fourth if he really could. And even all
kind
the
of
offense.
Keep the blood warm a
Keep
little
it warm,
bit.
yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's been a while since he's played a full game. I mean, they played at Oregon September 6th, had a bye week, and then last week he didn't get a lot of looks. So if he doesn't play a lot this week, it'll be almost a month by the time Nebraska comes to town that Cook, hasn't seen a lot of live game action. So I think that's key for Michigan State. Obviously, if the game gets out of hand, and it could, Michigan State's favored by up to 33 points.
By a lot,
it could get out of hand. But I do think it's key for them, not necessarily run up the score, but him getting passing attempts and leaving them in there, just so this whole offense as a group can gel and have playing their best ball going into Nebraska.
It might seem like we're overlooking a little bit, but when you obviously stack the opponents like MSU has early in the schedule, other than Oregon, it's hard not to at least look a little bit ahead. Right. And as we will do now, we will look ahead to the game on Saturday with our predictions. This is the time of the week where we usually embarrass ourselves. We weren't too bad last week, though.
No, last week, besides the 70 points, I don't think anyone saw coming.
I didn't think they were going to drop a basketball number on Easter, and
no,
that's on me,
free
I guess.
Tacos.
Yeah, free tacos. I haven't gotten mine yet. But, so now, I guess I'll start off with my predictions. I have MSU winning big, as many people would probably guess. I'm not really going on a limb here. I think that Wyoming is 3-1, but their wins are against an FCS team and some mid-majors. Right. They struggled last week against Florida Atlantic, only winning by 1 point. Right. So I don't really see them putting up much of a fight. Their offense is also not really that. We talked about their offense a little bit with the ties to MSU, but they're only averaging 17 points a game.
That's not a lot.
And as you alluded to a little bit earlier, Riley Bullough talked about how you go up against an offense that's similar to yours that helps the defense. So I think that MSU, when it's all said and done, I agree with your point about the starters. I don't think they're actually going to stay in that long, though. I mean, D'Antonio, that's just not the way that he seems to be doing things. I have MSU winning 50-9.
I'm similar with you, Geoff. I don't see this game being very close. I do think a little bit closer. I have 41-13 is my prediction in favor of Michigan State. And I, give Wyoming some credit. They were up 7-0 in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter against Oregon. So they do, they have played against big-name teams like, the Ducks. But like you said, the 3 wins they have were all single-digit wins, and they weren't against great competition. So the 3-1 record, while that is impressive, Last year they only won 5 games. They're past the halfway mark to that.
They are, yeah.
But it's deceiving. I don't see this Wyoming team, winning too many more games. Depending on, I guess, how good the league is, the Mountain West. I don't know too much about that personally, but this is not a game I don't see Wyoming sticking around. Better than Eastern, but I think Michigan State's scout team could have put up a better effort than Eastern last week. So like I said, 41-13 is my prediction, Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, they'll do better than Eastern, so Pokes fans take that with a grain of salt maybe. We will be back after the game to talk about either a win or a loss. Either way, we will be back. We'll be on your computer screens, our pretty mugs. My name is Geoff Preston.
I'm Robert Bondy.
And we will see you later on after the game.